Reflect.
Reflect. Reflect.
The shepherd. The shepherd. The shepherd. Reflect the shepherd.
Reflecting the shepherd.
Reflecting the shepherd.
What reflecting the shepherd means to me is to be Christ-like and to treat others with kindness.
This is the verse I think about when I think about reflecting the shepherd. Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Matthew 25:40. I think it's like that because we're supposed to be reflecting our Savior on our community, looking out for those people with us, nearby us. Just always be there with them. And that's what I think about when I think about reflecting the shepherd.
Hey kids, it has been so cool to be with you guys. And I wish we had been together in person. But you know, as we are going to sing this song right now, it's talking about how great is our God, the Creator, the one who made everything, the universe, hung the stars in space. He is so amazing. So as we sing, I know you're probably sitting on your couch. Like, sing with us and imagine that you're actually singing to God. The splendor of the King, clothed in majesty, let all the earth rejoice, let all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness tries to hide, and trembles at his voice. guys. Thank you. Singing with us.
What is this? Wow, what a find. Do you guys know what this is? It looks like wood, but it's very hard like rock. It makes a very interesting sound too. Wow. Well, in case you didn't know, this is a moose antler. God has gifted animals with the ability to survive and thrive in their environments by equipping them with special powers or unique adaptations. So one such patriotic animal in Canada is the moose. Now this was taken from a moose, and moose actually shed their antlers in the winter time. So there's not enough sunlight to give them the amount of plants and vitamins that they need. So the antlers actually fall off, and then they grow them again each year. So you can actually find these outside. So here's some crazy facts I'm going to share with you about the moose. Moose can actually stand at a height of up to 8 feet, but some can even be as tall as 10 feet. That's as tall as 2 refrigerators stacked on top of each other, for perspective. Moose can be quite dangerous to Canadians, and they actually come in at number 1 for causing the most deaths to people of all animals or insects. But most incidents of death involving moose are due to car accidents. The size of a moose's legs allow it to run fast, up to 53 kilometers an hour. That's as fast as a motorized scooter and the same speed that most bears run, except the polar bear, which runs 64 kilometers an hour. The word moose comes from the indigenous word mosu, which means he who trims or cuts smoothly, Given their sheer size and strength, moose make quick work of most plants and shrubs, as they often rub their antlers against such things to get rid of the velvet because it causes them to itch excessively. Moose antlers can weigh up to 40 pounds, and they're composed largely of minerals. So that's why you get kind of that bone look. And your bones probably look somewhat similar to this, of course, just not quite as big. This one probably weighs about 25, maybe 30 pounds max. But moose eat a lot of veggies, so if you want to grow good, healthy bones, take a lesson from the moose and make sure you eat those veggies every day. So the moose actually use their antlers for protection. The antler is a sign of male's dominance. So males who have large antlers feel strong and secure, and they will often go and fight against other males for the females, or they will just in general practice their fighting against other males for future encounters. So a male who doesn't have horns will actually not participate in battle. They will actually run away. So sometimes if the male doesn't grow large antlers, it will grow large teeth. But the teeth aren't as intimidating looking, so moose often kind of shy away and avoid conflict. Now, how does this relate to us as Christians? In Ephesians 6:11-17, we are encouraged to put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Well, the moose is a big animal, but it still runs away if it doesn't have its armor, its antlers. And we too have spiritual armor. Jesus, in his life, was always wearing this armor. He had the breastplate of righteousness. He had the sandals of the gospel of peace. He had the sword of the Spirit, the helmet of salvation, the shield of faith, and the belt of truth. All of these were so important for Jesus to have while he was on this earth, because Satan was always trying to attack him, always trying to tempt him to do wrong. And you too will face that, but you don't have anything to fear if you have the armor of God and you're reflecting your Father. You should make sure that you're always using that armor, because if you are and it's nice and shiny and it's reflecting God, then you know that you are in the Spirit and you have nothing to fear. No matter what Satan throws at you, you will be able to stand your ground. So guys, I really encourage you to go out into nature and find other things that reflect Jesus, because creation is all around us and it's here for our education. And I know you guys can find cool things out in nature too. So get out there, have fun, and have a great summer. Bye for now.
Shepherd means to me is like, it reminds me of a mirror and how we need to mirror Jesus' actions and we need to do good like him.
Reflecting the shepherd for me is teaching people about God so that they can become closer to him.
Hi kids! I hope you're enjoying your summer. Alberta's summers are something, aren't they? So far this summer, it's only been a few days, like 2 or 3 days. I've seen hot days. I've seen cool days. I've seen rain, hail, and some summers I even see snow. One time I saw snow on July 1st. That's Alberta for you. When I think of precipitation and rain, I think of water. And I think of the water that collects in pools that are so fun to jump in. And I think of water running through rivers. And I think of water in the ponds in our neighborhoods, and the storm ponds in our neighborhoods. And sometimes when I go by the water and I sit by it, sometimes if it's so still, it's like a mirror and I could see my reflection in it. which is kind of cool because then I get to look and see what my hair looks like, or what if something's on my face. So sometimes it's quite amusing to look at your reflection in the water. I think that reading your Bible is something like looking at a reflection in the water. You know, like when I read my Bible, it puts good characteristics in me, and when I look into the water, I can see the reflection that God has put inside of me, which is kind of neat. But I also know that when I'm looking into that still water, nothing's really happening. Maybe when I don't share what I learned from the Bible, nothing really happens, you know? It just stays inside of me and I get smarter, but nothing really happens. But in order for me to change something happening in the water, for me to do it, not the wind, I would have to do something to the water. So maybe I would take a little finger and poke the water, or a little stone and drop it in the water, or I could take a bunch of stones and throw them in the water. If I took a little pebble and gently dropped it, it would create a soft, smooth ripple, right? Or if I took a whole bunch of rocks and threw it in the water, it would make a stronger ripple, kind of like a hailstorm, right? So I think if I was sharing the character of Christ, I would be gentle, loving, kind, patient, and I would take little drips or little pebbles and slowly share those ripples of kindness and the things that I learned in the Bible, and it would make a ripple and go to others and share to others and share to others. So no longer is it just a simple reflection, but it's something that I've done to make it go slowly to others and slowly to others and slowly to others. If I have a harsh character, or I'm a little rude, I don't have the characteristics of the fruits of the spirits, then maybe the things I would put in there are harsh words, like they're kind of like rocks of hail or balls of hail that would fall into the water, and it would cause such a big ripple. And so what I'm sharing with others are roughness and unkind, and that's sometimes uncomfortable. And that's not very much like sharing the character of Christ. So just like a shower or rain is sometimes nice to walk under, it's better to use gentleness and reflect the gentleness of Jesus rather than be like a hailstorm, because it's very uncomfortable to walk through a hailstorm. So I would like you to remember that when you read from the Bible and you learn lessons, I want you to use those lessons to help your character grow closer to Jesus. And I want you to share that, not just to see your reflection and know that you're smarter by learning those things, but that you gently share those with the people around you, and you'll see a ripple of kindness effect happen around you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time at camp. God bless you.
I reflect on Jesus because he helps me with my thing, like my schoolwork. When I don't understand it, I can just pray to him.
Hey kids, I'm at Elbow Falls here in Kananaskis country, and I want to show you something really beautiful that shows the reflection of God. Yes, we're seeing a very beautiful river, and we're going to see a waterfalls, but I want to show you something cool that you're going to find really beautiful.
She goes to the rock, see? She does that, and then she flies back. She gives her baby food.
Wow, what dedication of a mother or a father getting the kids food and then diving into the water to find more food. And up and down we saw this bird doing this, and he or she would come back out, rest a little bit, and then take the food back. So let's see it again. There you go. Feeds the baby, comes back out, splashes under there to get food. You know what? We have an amazing God that came to this world and sacrificed his life for us to give us food. And that is a spiritual food. That's him. And that's why we have the Word of God. God is so good, and we need to reflect his love to the world around us.
Hey kids, welcome. We've arrived at Big Hills Provincial Park. This place here is so beautiful. You're going to see little waterfalls. You're going to see rock formations called tufas. This is in God's nature. And truly, if you want to see some amazing stuff, you get out into nature and you'll be able to see the beauty of God. And as we spend more time in God's nature, we will reflect God's love to others more and become more like Jesus. Let's start our journey. Hey kids, right behind me is what they call a tufa. Pretty cool, hey?
These tufas are unusual rock formations that form when calcium and carbonate-rich water emerges from the ground. As the water comes to the surface, it releases carbon dioxide. That's what we breathe out. And it goes into the air and forms these calcium carbonate rocks we call tufas. What's really cool is these tufas sometimes form on plants in the spring water. And if you look really closely, you can see shapes of molds of branches, twigs, leaves, and moss in the rock. Isn't that cool?
Hey you guys, how's it going? Johnny and I are here today.
Yeah, we're at the Big Hills Provincial Park. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, Johnny, we're here at the Big Hills Provincial Park here near Cochrane, Alberta. And we are having a lot of fun here checking out the
Waterfalls!
That's right, we are checking out the waterfalls. And there's so many things we can learn with the waterfalls, right?
Yes, that's right. But before we continue, let's invite a very special guest, Dr. Albert! Come, Dr. Albert!
I'm very good, thank you.
Good to see you. Get closer to me. You gotta be in the camera, Dr. Albert. You gotta move your mouth too. And talk loud.
Yes, I know.
Very good. What's so important about reflecting in the water?
Well, reflecting in the water is very important because, as you see, water is a life source.
That's right, it is a life source.
All living things on this planet, well, they need water.
That's right.
Like behind us right there, there's water.
Yeah.
Water covers about 75% of our planet.
How much of our planet is covered by water?
75%.
That's unbelievable. Now, why is water so important?
Well, water is so important because it helps for a couple of things. One, it helps to keep us nice and healthy, prevent us from getting sick.
Okay, what's the second reason?
The second reason is that, as you see, water strengthens our body.
Oh, okay, that's good. Now, all throughout the civilization, people have always lived by water. That's right. People like to be near water because, as Dr. Albert said, it brings life. And we need the life the water brings. Now, in the Bible, somebody's referred to as the living water. Who is that, Dr. Albert?
Well, people know, that person is Jesus. He's the living water that we need every day. Oh, and I have something here in my pockets. This flower right here. It's a nice flower.
That's true, it is a nice flower. Are you gonna eat it?
I'm not gonna eat it.
You guys like eating flowers? Totally awesome!
I don't recommend you kids try it.
No, dandelions don't taste good, although they say you can't have dandelion salad. Not too yummy, no.
So, as you see, this dandelion, just like wheat, needs water to survive. Without water, it will die.
That's right! And Jesus is the living water. We can't cook without water. We can't do anything. We have to live only with water. Goodbye, flower. Everything needs water, kids.
Yes.
That's right. What needs water?
So, bugs need water, animals like bugs and deer. Every creature needs water.
That's right. We need water to be able to plant food so that the food can grow.
That's right, we need that. And what else do we need the water for? To feed our livestock.
That's right. What else?
Electricity also.
Oh, that's right. Without water, you can't have dams that power electricity.
But the most important, Johnny and Dr. Albert, is of course, as we've talked about, is Jesus is the living water. That's correct, Mr. Antunes. Yes, and as we connect with Jesus, as we drink of the living water, which is the Bible, kids, and staying connected with the Word of God, we get to know Jesus more, and we're going to reflect Jesus more. We're going to reflect who He is. And what are some things that Jesus is, Dr. Albert? Well, I will tell you the things Jesus is. Jesus is peace. He's the Prince of Peace. Peace, Prince of Peace. What else? He's Emmanuel. Emmanuel, that is, what does that mean? God with us. God with us.
Yeah, that's totally cool.
Another thing is He's joy. Joy. He's
Good.
love.
Love.
And He's merciful. Wow, merciful. That's really cool, Dr. Albert. Okay, just for you to know, if you look down there, what do you see?
If we look down, we see water.
Yes, water. Without it, life wouldn't be possible here.
That's right.
And without water, there's no life. And without no life, there's nothing.
That's right.
So, I challenge you today, kid, to always ask God to come into your heart and mind so you can feel happy and you can feel the joy and mercy and grace He gives to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Albert, for sharing with us today.
Okay, thank you. In response.
Bye, kids.
So glad that you came to Big River Falls. Whole bunch of small little waterfalls beside a beautiful babbling creek. Remember, Jesus is the living water, and He is your friend. He is mine, and He has a plan for your life. And even though we weren't spending time together this year at camp meeting, remember that you are a pathfinder for Jesus. He has called you to follow Him, and He will lead you, as long as you follow Him, the paths of living waters.
Hi, my name is Rachel Miranda. I am a music and science teacher at Chinook Winds Adventist Academy in Calgary, Alberta. Today I'm going to share a lesson with you about light and reflections. Light is an electromagnetic wave that we can see with our eyes. My demonstration today shows how light can be reflected to illuminate or light up another object. In the Bible, in John 8, verse 12, Jesus said, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." In this demonstration, I will use this light to represent Jesus, the light of the world. You and I will be represented by the mirror because we naturally reflect what we can see. Here are two of the many angles that light can reflect. This one is 35 degrees. So that's a very small angle. A bigger angle that we could pick is 110 degrees. And this angle of light would illuminate a lot of different things. Normally, the light hits the mirror and bounces straight back to our eyes. Look. Pointed the light straight at the mirror, and the light shines right back in my face. In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how we can make light reflect at a wide angle. If I change the angle of the light, it doesn't show me anymore, but it shows this picture of Jesus as the Good Shepherd. In John 10, verse 11, it says, "I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd gives his life for the sheep. I'd like to sing a song with you today. It's called I Am the Good Shepherd. It goes like this. I am the good shepherd. I am the good shepherd. And the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I am the good shepherd. And the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. Because he loves them, he loves them. Oh, how he loves each one. He loves them, he loves them. Like a shepherd, he'll lead them home. Like a shepherd, he'll lead us home. It's important that we reflect the light of Jesus in a wide pattern so that we can show God's light and reflect God's light to our whole world. Thanks for listening to my presentation today. Goodbye.
How's it going? Here I am at Moraine Lake. It's beautiful here, except it's raining. It's still beautiful here. And that's the amazing thing about being in nature. It's beautiful. And usually you can see an amazing reflection of the mountains on the lake. But it's being right now affected because, well, of the sunlight, number one. And number two, because of the rain. And you know what? Sometimes rain comes in our lives. Problems that hit us that are unexpected. And sometimes we have a hard time being able to see what really is going on. And that's why we need to keep our eyes focused on Jesus, to make sure that we reflect him even in the hard times of our life. Because you know what? There will be hard times, but God has promised that he will always get us through. And even in the moments of hard times, we got to stop and take a look at the beautiful little creeks that are around us, look behind us and see the mountains that are behind us, and keep on walking. Keep looking to Jesus, who is the author and finisher of our faith, kids. We need him. You need him. He is an awesome God. He created you. He made you special, and he wants you to reflect his love to the world. God bless you. Thank you for watching this video today for Virtual Camp Meeting. God bless you guys. Hey, how are you guys doing? We've come to the end of our program. One more thing. I just want to say, first of all, thank you for sticking with us. This was a lot of fun to make this program. Took a long time, but we had a lot of fun doing it. I would have preferred to gone to camp meeting and been with you guys, be able to sing with you guys and have fun with you guys, but that's not how it worked out this year because of COVID-19. We want to keep praying for all of you and for our families that are going through a hard time. Many different things are going on, right? But you know what? As we went through this evening and as we're going through this week, we're reminded that we have a good shepherd. And because we have a good shepherd who loves us, we are called by Jesus to reflect his love to others. Just like when Jesus came to the earth, he came to this world as a little baby. He's grown up here. He was baptized. When he was baptized, he started his ministry, right? And it was like so awesome because he goes out and immediately starts healing and teaching people and loving people, embracing people, telling the kids to come, even though the disciples were like, we don't have time for kids. Jesus doesn't have time for kids. Jesus is like, yes, of course I have time for kids. You know what? Jesus still has time for kids and will always have time for kids because he created you guys. You guys are special. And I know Mrs. Miranda read this, but I read it again to you. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for the sheep. Jesus is your good shepherd. And I don't know what you're going through in your life, but I can tell you that Jesus cares about you and he cares about what you are going through. And so we just want to encourage you from Chinook Winds Adventist Academy that put this on for you guys today, our students, some of our teachers. Thank you so very much. We want to wish you a very special summer, and remember to reflect the shepherd. Share Jesus' love. Be kind, be compassionate, be there. Don't accept people who are bullying other people. Say no to it and make a difference for Jesus. God bless you. See you next year in person by the grace of God. Bye, guys.